The narrative begins with a dream sequence inside a ballroom where numerous people are dancing. Vanessa is shown tied up to a statue. Adas, the hero, enters wearing a police costume. Upon entering, he readies himself, causing everyone to stop. A man approaches Adas, who bravely shoots the man in the head, causing it to explode like a watermelon. The people in the ballroom are revealed to be vampires. The vampires surround Adas, but he fearlessly shoots them one by one, killing them all. He saves Vanessa by unlocking her chains, becoming her hero. They share a kiss, but Adas then wakes up, realizing it was just a dream. Adas is portrayed as a lonely, ordinary man who lacks a love life. He receives a call from the sergeant who asks him to bring hot dogs and drinks to the police station. The sergeant ends the call abruptly before Adas can finish speaking, highlighting that Adas's worth is largely ignored, even in his dreams. Adas prepares for the day and visits a grocery store. He buys 2 hot dogs and 2 orange juices. While the owner is preparing the hot dogs, Adas sees him hit a dog near the door and chase it away. Adas becomes very angry, and after paying for the food, he begins lecturing the grocery store owner about animal protection rights. Adas threatens to put the owner in jail if he does it again. The owner does not take Adas seriously and tells him to leave the store. Adas arrives at the police station with the food. He goes directly to Vanessa and tries to give her orange juice, but she refuses. Adas then hears sounds coming from the lockup. He investigates and finds the mutant twins, who had become monsters in the previous movie. Inside the lockup, he also sees Zosha. Adas and Zosha make eye contact. Shortly thereafter, the sergeant emerges from the restroom. Adas gives the sergeant the food and inquires about the people locked up. The sergeant explains that Zosha had arrived the previous night, covered in blood and dirt. Media outlets were discussing her situation. Zosha told the police that all her friends, who were part of a camping group mentioned in part 1, were dead. She claimed the mutant twins killed her friends. She also claimed she had managed to kill one of the mutant twins, but the sergeant notes this was only her belief. The sergeant confirms that he went to the location and found 1 mutant twin. Later, another police officer captured the second mutant twin. All that remained were corpses. Confused by the entire situation, the sergeant decided to lock up all 3, Zosha and the 2 mutant twins. Adas asks the sergeant if he called the city police. The sergeant confirms he did, noting that the special forces would arrive soon, either tonight or the next morning. The sergeant mentions that locking up the 2 twins was very difficult. Adas gives Zosha water, and they introduce themselves. The sergeant then takes Adas and Zosha on a field visit. Before leaving, Adas stops in the sergeant's office and looks at a picture of Zosha. The 3 of them arrive at the house. The sergeant asks Zosha to recount everything from the beginning. While Zosha is speaking, she hears strange noises nearby. The sergeant, feeling unwell due to stomach issues, needs to use the washroom. He leaves Zosha sitting on a bed in the room and goes to the washroom. Unbeknownst to Zosha, one of the mutant twins was hiding beneath the bed. This is the source of the black liquid that caused them to mutate. The black liquid flows out and surrounds Zosha's legs. By the time the sergeant returns to the house, Zosha has transformed into a monster and is no longer on the bed. Zosha attacks the sergeant, cutting his body in half, resulting in his death. That night, Adas and Vanessa are alone at the police station. Adas tells Vanessa that the sergeant and Zosha have not returned from the field visit. Vanessa tells Adas to call the sergeant, but Adas's call continuously goes to voicemail. Adas also attempts to contact the sergeant using his walkie-talkie, but receives no response. Vanessa suggests Adas should go alone, but he refuses, stating he needs to stay and protect her. Vanessa then insists they go to the house together. Adas drives Vanessa to the house, attempting unsuccessfully to flirt with her in the car, as he secretly likes her. Upon arrival, they find the sergeant's car and then his half-cut corpse. Adas suggests they should return to the station and wait for the special forces before coming back. However, Vanessa refuses to listen, arguing that waiting will only result in more deaths. Vanessa takes action and calls others for help. Her call connects to Slawek and Mario, who prepare and drive their vehicle into the forest. Meanwhile, in a separate location, a man is shown in a camp office complaining to Yanushka that people are too focused on modernization and neglecting simple things. He wants to fix this, which is why he opened the camp. Yanushka responds to him, and suddenly, the lights go out. There are no children currently at the camp. The man attempts to repair some kind of robot, which doesn't work, so he goes to the electricity board alone. He discovers that the electricity board has been damaged. As he tries to fix it, a spark occurs, and the monster, Zosia, suddenly appears and shoves the man into the electricity board. His face is badly burned. The monster then shoves its hand into the man's stomach and pulls out his intestines, killing him. Adas, Vanessa, Mario, and Slawek meet up and begin following footprints leading into the jungle. Adas continues to argue that they should not proceed and wait for the special forces, but they ignore him. As they go, they set up animal traps along the path. Vanessa tells Adas that he is useless and should remain quiet. Mario, Vanessa, and Adas stay together, while Slawek moves 20 meters ahead alone to set another trap. While setting this second trap, Slawek's hand gets caught in the trap, cutting him. Slawek calls Mario. They tie Slawek's hand to stop the bleeding and decide to take him to a nearby camp. Adas again tells them they should go back, but no one listens to him. Adas notes that he feels he is the only sensible person. They go inside an abandoned ambulance, which is already covered in a large amount of blood. Adas sees the monster through the door and immediately warns everyone to flee. Adas tells Vanessa that the monster looked like Zosia and the twin brothers. At that moment, they hear a noise. They check and find Yanushka hiding. She tells them what happened to the man who was burned. During these events, Slawek dies. The monster, Zosia, is seen observing how the group is treating Adas disrespectfully. Mario wants to take Slawek's body home, but the others object because the monster is still outside. Adas once again insists that they should stay put and wait for the special forces. The monster is confirmed to be Zosia. Vanessa asks Mario if he does not want to kill the monster, pointing out they have weapons and training that would make the task easier. Adas advocates for protecting themselves. A fight breaks out among the group, which Adas eventually calms down, stressing that they must stick together. They apologize to each other and devise a plan to capture the monster. The plan involves using Yanushka as bait to lure the monster into a crossfire. However, Zosia proves to be cunning. She attacks Mario first from behind, ripping his heart out of his body and then removing everything from his mouth, killing him. Yanushka is the monster's next victim and the others are unable to save her. Adas manages to save Vanessa and brings her into a cabin. He speaks confident words to her and they stop fighting and hug. The monster, Zosia, then throws Janushka's severed hand and foot into the cabin. She breaks down the cabin door, entering while holding Janushka's head. Adas points his gun at Zosia. Vanessa shoves Adas towards Zosia and escapes the cabin, driving away in the ambulance toward the station. Zosia climbs onto Adas. A strange tongue or tentacle emerges from Zosia's mouth and goes straight into Adas's mouth. Adas slowly begins transforming into a monster. After Adas mutates, he communicates with Zosia in a unique language they had never heard or read before. Zosia explains to Adas that once a meteorite fell and a liquid from it entered her body, which is now inside Adas as well. She states that both of them are now evil. While this is happening, Vanessa is attempting to contact the special forces. Zosia claims that humans have become a cancer and they must eliminate the human race. Adas argues that not all people are bad and the world is not entirely evil. Zosia strongly persuades Adas to kill people. They agree to go out and kill someone, and Adas suggests they target the grocery store owner who hit the dog. They go to the owner's house. Adas is highly excited, and Zosia teaches him how to make strange, frightening monster noises. They decide to cut the power first, and then attack. Zosia and Adas cut the house's electricity. Adas takes a knife, and they hide in the darkness. When the man comes out to check the cut wires, he stops because he hears noises outside. Adas lunges at him and stabs him in the eye, killing him. After the murder, Zosia and Adas become intimate. Adas asks Zosia why she chose him, and Zosia replies that she saw herself reflected in Adas. Adas feels very excited and fulfilled. They decide to free the twin brothers. They return to the police station. Zosia plays a game, telling the twin brothers they are now free. The twins, however, do not wake up. Vanessa arrives and begins firing at them. She throws a grenade, but it fails to explode. Adas moves toward Vanessa and begins strangling her. Zosia tells Adas to kill her, but Adas cannot bring himself to do it. In a fit of anger, Zosia rips Vanessa's face off right in front of Adas and throws it onto him. Zosia tells Adas that if he truly loved her, he would have killed Vanessa, which he failed to do. Zosia runs out of the police station. She is hit and crushed by a special forces vehicle. Aders is also captured and taken to a testing center. Meanwhile, one of the twin brothers finds the non-exploding grenade, and they look at each other, followed by a loud blast at the police station. Aders is taken to the testing center where people experiment on him, drilling his brain. The movie ends at this point.